Shots of Dirt League Racing in the big block modifieds here at Limaland. And sorry about that first stream that I opened up, as the audio was not coming through for the cars, but now it should be coming through loud and clear. Again, this is week number 1. It's going to be a 12-week series with 2 drop weeks. It's going to follow the official iRacing schedule for the schedule here this season. So we have Limaland this week. We have Limaland this week, and looking at it for the schedule for next week will be Lernerville. Week 3 is going to be at Charlotte. Week 4 will be Kokomo. Week 5 is going to be USA. 6 is at Cedar Lake. 7 is Lincoln. 8 is Eldora. 9 is Volusia. Week 10 is going to be Oswego. 11 is going to be Knoxville, and they round out the season on week 12 at Lanier. And we have a stacked field tonight with 19 drivers making the call for tonight. And as you see there, the practice session is coming to a close here. And after this practice session is over with, we are going to be going straight into your qualifying for tonight's event. And this is big block modifieds with the open setups here at Limaland. And we're waiting for the session to transfer over, and it just did. So with that being said, we will find the first car that goes out to qualify. And it looks like it's going to be Allen in the 89 machine here, as we see him come out on the track on the back straightaway. Goes in turn number 3, gets that momentum up, go up. And turn 3 and 4, he's getting the green flag for his first lap. He's going to run that middle groove in 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. As he goes down the back straightaway into turn number 3, he's running that slow or small slider there on the short side. And his first lap is going to be a 12:71. We have Ken in his 56 machine. His first lap was a 12:77. As we see Ken here coming down the back straightaway, he's running that high side there in turn 3. He's trying to get a better lap time here as he comes off turn 4. And Ken's going to hit a 13:16 on his second lap. And Brian in that 71 machine, his first lap was a 12:74. As you see him going 3 and 4 there. Coming off 4, he's getting the checkered flag. And his second lap is going to be a 12:76. Your quick time qualifier so far is going to be Brandon Martinhart in that 34 machine with a 12:50. As you see him running that bottom side there in 3 and 4, coming off, or I'm sorry, that's 1 and 2, getting everything all mixed up here. Or I was not getting everything mixed up. Yeah, he's just doing extra laps now. And we still have few drivers to qualify. Go with Brock and the 49 machine here. As Brock hit a 12:76 his first lap, he's going to move or qualify into the 10th position as he comes off turn 4, getting the checkered flag. His second lap time is going to be a 12:89. That's going to keep him in the 10th position. Tyson Banks, he's qualified into the 3rd position with a 747 machine, hitting a 12:70. And Brandon Barnhart and Roundtree have both hit a 12:50. That's going to put Kieran Roundtree in on the pole here. And I believe everyone has qualified within their 3 minutes allotted time. And so the field should be set for the 2 heat races, followed by your 50-lap main event tonight. Again, sorry viewers for dropping that first live and bringing up the second one, as we did not have the audio from the cars. And to go over your qualifying results here, it's going to be Roundtree, Barnhart, Watts, Tyson Banks, Alan Patterson, Joseph Matthews, Tyler Hampton, Troy, Corey, and Brian, all for your top 10. And we're going to go straight to heat race number 1, starting the lineup. We got the number 2 car of Roundtree starting on the pole with Matthew Watts on his outside and the number 11 machine. Alan Patterson in the 89 is going to start inside row number 2. On his outside is going to be Tyler Hampton in the 14. Row 3 on the inside is going to be the 02 of Corey Bergquist, and on his outside is going to be the 49 of Brock Stout. The 18 machine of Cody Daly is going to start on the inside row number 4 with Chris Watkins in the 441 on his outside, and rounding out the field for heat race number 1 is going to be Sebastian Labonte. As the field is waiting for, I believe, the 18 car of Cody Daly to join the grid. And he has roughly about 30 seconds left to make the grid. Looks like everyone's there, ready to go. The pace truck should be pulling off. As the field is going to be led by the number 2 of Roundtree. Field is stacked up, I believe. Pace car lights were off. That's what was throwing me off. They're coming around turn 4, getting the rolled up green flag. We're going to go racing next time around as Roundtree and Watts lead the field in turn 1 and down the back straightaway for the last parade lap here for heat race number 1. They're all racked up and stacked. They're ready to go here for your 9 cars in heat race number 1. The pace car pulls in, and Roundtree's hitting that lap put on that 2 machine, getting us underway here for heat race number 1 of your hot shots on dirt at Limaland here. Karen's going to go to the outside down the back straightaway and comes back down to the bottom. The 89 of Alan Patterson, he's right there. He's going to run side by side with Matthew Watts there as they go in turn number 1. Still side by side, battling it out for second as Roundtree is still in the lead. The 89 of Patterson's slid up just a little bit. Here comes the 14 of Tyler Hampton looking down low. We're going to be 3 wide going into turn number 1 here. And the 89 got a little bit tight there. Here, that allowed the 11 of Matthew to make a pass. The 14 hits the tire down low and pushed up, almost took Matthew out as well with him. And I believe we are halfway through. No, we are not halfway through. We are just completed lap number 3 of heat race number 1. And Roundtree's getting the cross flags as we are now halfway through. Matthew's going to go to the outside. The 14 of Tyler Hampton is going to come down low in 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, he's going to look down low, enter turn number 3. He's going to try to make that pass once again on Matthew for second as they come off turn number 4 down the front straightaway. And this battle for second on your screen between the 14 and the 11 as the 49 and Brock is going to be sitting there in 4th. They just received the popsicle sticks as we have 2 laps remaining here. Can Tyler in that 14 machine make that pass on Matthew Watts as they go in turn number 3? Coming off 4, they're getting the white flag as we are 1 lap left in this event. Matthew's going to go down low in 1 and 2 as he goes down the back straightaway. It's going to be the number 2 machine of Roundtree coming off turn 4, getting the checkered flag for heat race number 1, followed by Matthew Watts and Tyler Hampton for your top 3. And the rest of your results for heat race number 1 is going to be Brock in the 49 finishes 4th, Allen in the 89 5th, Corey in the 02 6th, Cody Daly in the 18 is going to be 7th, Sebastian Labonte 20 in his 26 machine 8th, and Chris Watkins rounds out the field. And your starting lineup for heat race number 2 is going to see Brandon Barnhart in that 34 machine on the pole. On his outside is going to be the 747 of Tyson Banks. Inside row number 2 has Joseph Matthews in his 1 machine. And on his outside is going to be Troy or Ziggy in that 21. Inside row number 3 has Brian in the 71. On his outside is going to be Ken in the 56. Then we have the 19 of Robbie Milburn. Starting inside row number 4. On his outside is going to be Dylan Tyrell in the 17 machine. And Brian in the 13 machine will be rounding out the field for heat race number 2. As they come off turn 4 down the straightaway, they're receiving the rolled up green flag. We have 1 lap until we go back underway here for heat race number 2 action. And they're stacked up. Pace car is going to pull off. Brandon Barnhart's going to hit that loud pedal and get us underway as he comes off turn number 4, leads the field into turn number 1. Here comes the 1 of Joseph Matthews looking down low in 1 and 2. He's going to make it interesting here with Tyson Banks in that 747. They're going to be battling it out for second right there. They're going to be 3 wide right behind these 2 drivers here, and that's going to be Ziggy, Brian, and Ken running 3 wide. They're all battling it out there for that 4th position, as Brandon is going to get that outside line going here, about the middle outside line going, and Tyson Banks is right there following suit. Joseph Matthews in that 9 machine on the car, but number 1 on your ticker there on the upper left-hand corner. And then we have Ziggy in that 21 machine and 4th as Barnhart comes off turn number 4. He's getting across flags. We are halfway through with heat race number 2. Ken in that 56 machine. He's looking down low. He's going to try to get up there into your 4th position, but right in front of him, Tyson Banks and that's Joseph Matthews. They're battling side by side. They're trying to get a battle for second there. And we still have Ken looking down low. He's trying to get in 4th position. This time around, they have the popsicle sticks as we have 2 laps remaining in heat race number 2. Now Justice is going to go to the outside of 1 and 2, try to get that momentum down the back straightaway. Looking down low, Tyson, as they go in turn number 3, off of 4, they're getting the white flag with 1 lap remaining here in heat race number 2. Matthews is going to go down low here. And Barnhart is going to take the win here. We're going to have a slide job as we almost had a slide job. Joseph Matthews ended up hitting the tires and thought separate of it, as Barnhart will take the win, followed by Tyson Banks in second, and Joseph Matthews rounds out your top 3. And in 4th is going to be Ken in his 56 machine. Brian rounds out the top 5 in his 71 machine. And then we have the other Brian in the 13 machine 6th, Dylan in the 17 machine 7th, Ziggy 21 machine 8th, and rounding out the field is going to be Robbie Milburn in his 19 machine. And these drivers will be doing a quick warm-up session. And we still have roughly about 6 more minutes left of their warm-up session here as they try to work this track in and get it slicked up for their 50-lap event here tonight. A little bit about the hot shots of dirt. It is a $25 entry fee for the session, and that will be for the points fund. And they do have 2 weeks for drop weeks as well. So we're just waiting for these 18 drivers to do their final touches for what they want to do with their setup as well. That's why they're doing these warm-up. And it looks like we are going ahead and advance in this warm-up session and getting underway here momentarily as they clear the track. And for your 50-lap main event tonight is going to be Roundtree, and that number 2 machine starting on the pole. Outside of him is going to be Brandon Barnhart in the 34. Inside row number 2 has Matthew Watts in the 11 machine with Tyson Banks in the 747 on his outside. Tyler Hampton in the 14 is going to be inside row number 3 with Joseph Matthews in the 1 machine on his outside. Brock Stout in the 49 is going to start inside row number 4. On his outside is going to be Ken in his 56 machine with Alan Patterson in the 89 starting inside row number 5. Brian in the 71 machine is going to start inside or outside row number 5. Inside 6 is going to be Corey Bergquist in the 02. Brian in the 13 machine is going to start on his outside in P12. Row number 7 has Cody Daly in that 18 machine, and on his outside is going to be Dylan in the 17. Sebastian Labani is going to start inside row number 8 in the 26 machine with Ziggy on his outside in the 21. Chris Watkins in the 441 is going to start on the back row there on the inside with Robbie Milburn on his outside. And they just received the rode up green flag. We should be going back or going underway next time around as the field is stacked up, racked and stacked as they come down the back straightaway here. And we had one blink in there. That's going to be Tyson Banks in that 747. The pace car is going to pull off as they go in turn 3. And the 2 machines on that loud pedal get us underway here for week number 1, Hot Shots of Dirt League racing with Tri-City Speed. As they go through 1 and 2, the 2 machine is going to lead us down the back straightaway into turn number 3. We're going to be 3 wide coming off turn 4 there momentarily as the 2 machine is going to lead lap number 1. Matthew Watson, that 11 machine, is getting that bottom side going. Here comes the 34, Barnhart. He's going to get that outside going with the 747 looking down low. They're thinking about making it 3 wide there momentarily once again, and they thought different of it as we are still early in this race, as it is a 50-lap race. Barnhart's getting the outside going. Here comes Matthew Watts getting up there on the top side in 3 and 4. And we're going to go back here with Barnhart, Tyson Banks, and Hampton as they come off turn number 4 there down the front straightaway. The 14 of Hampton, he's going to be sitting 5th. He's right there trying to make a pass on Tyson Banks on the outside. Here comes Barnhart running that middle line there in 3 and 4 as they come down the front straightaway going in turn number 1. Barnhart's running the outside lane. He's trying to figure something out to make a pass on Matthew Watts here as we are only 5 laps into this event. And we got one slowing up back there. I believe that was that was going to be the number 9 of Joseph Watts, or Joseph Matthews. Sorry, there's too many Matthews and everything like that has got tangled up right there. And right in front of him is going to be the 14 and the 56. They're going to be battling out here as they come down the front straightaway. The 56 is trying to hold off the 14 of Tyler. And now Ken in that 56 machine is going to get into your top 5. And Matthews getting that outside lane going in 3 and 4. On the very high side there. I should say in 3 and 4, last time around. And this time he's going to come down to the middle of the track. We got one on the outside wall there in 3 and 4. And it's been the number 2 machine since the drop of the green for your first 10 laps. And we're going to go through your field here momentarily as I keep an eye on the ticker as we come back to the 8th position of Brock in that 49 machine. He's trying to hold off Brian and Allen as they're running side by side right behind him. And Barnhart's closing in slowly but surely on Matthew Watts here as they go in turn number 1. Barnhart's going to get the outside going. Here comes Watts as well, staying in front of Barnhart. Barnhart's going to look down low in 3 and 4. They're going to be side by side. Did not touch, but they got close there as they went in turn number 3. Now Barnhart's going on the outside in 1 and 2 here. And he's going to look down low in 3 and 4. He's going to look for a slide job here, and he did not clear it. He was not going to push the issue as they came off turn number 4. Again, we are still early in this race as we only have 15 laps down. The 2 machines going to get in the outside wall. Here comes Matthew Watts. He's going to try to look down low in 1 and have a new leader here possibly as they give each other room coming off turn 2. Now Watts is going down low, throwing a slide job on the 2 machine. 2 is going to cross him over, and the 2 machine of Roundtree will maintain the lead at the line. As now Matthew is looking down low once again, throwing another slide job. Expect another crossover as they did not slide each other, but they're in side by side, and Roundtree is still going to be leading the race at the line there. Here comes Matthew once again looking down low. Here comes Barnhart trying to enter the party here as he's going to look down low of Watts, I should say, so that we can get the right names called out. Now Barnhart's going to get that bottom side going in 1 and 2 as they come down the back straightaway. We're going to be almost 3 wide there for the lead coming off turn 4 as Roundtree will maintain the lead. Watts is right there in 2nd. Barnhart is in 3rd. Watts create that outside wall with his right rear just a little bit, but here he comes looking down low in 3 and 4. Throws a slide job, and Roundtree's going to cross him back over and maintain his lead as they come down the front straightaway. Now Roundtree is going to thought he's going to return the favor there on the slide job. He did not. Here comes Watts once again. He's throwing another slide job in 3 and 4. And Roundtree is going to cross him over once again. And one of these times it will stick where Watts will get the lead most likely as we are nearing the halfway point of this race. Oh, we're going to be 3 wide coming off turn number 4 there for the lead as Roundtree, Barnhart, and Watts are all running right there with each other. The 747 of Tyson Banks, he's trying to enter the chart in the chat here. And it's still Roundtree, Barnhart, and Watts all battling side by side there. Barnhart's going to try to slide up and get in front of Roundtree, and at the line they just received the cross flags. That's what we're halfway through with your main event tonight. As you see, Roundtree and Watts running the outside lane, and Barnhart's running that bottom. And they're still going to be side by side momentarily. Here comes a possible slide job from Watts, and Roundtree is right there to maintain the lead. Roundtree's coming down into the middle. Watts is running the outside lane as they come off turn number 2. Banks is coming up close here soon as we're going to be side by side down the front straightaway. Once again, it's still going to be Roundtree at the line. They had 11, and Watts is looking to throw a slide job here in 1 and 2. Here's a crossover once again down the back straightaway. And as they go in turn number 3, Roundtree is going to throw the slide job here. Here comes the crossover from Matthew Watts, and at the line it's actually Watts there as we have a new leader. And now Roundtree is on the prowl. He's going to throw a slide job there in 3 and 4. And it was Roundtree that time at the line as we have 20 laps remaining in your main event tonight. The 11 machine of Watts is looking down low as they go in turn 3. Barnhart is going to be on the outside. Roundtree is crossing over Watts here as they come down the front straightaway. Roundtree is down low, Watts up high, and Barnhart's running that middle line as your top 3 drivers are right here on the screen. That's going to be the 2, 11, and the 34. as they come off turn number 4. Roundtree is going to maintain the lead in that 2 machine. Watts is looking down low in that orange and black machine as they go in turn number 1. We do have lap traffic right in front of your driver, so that's going to be the 17 of Dylan. That's going to be the lap traffic as Matthew Watts is getting that bottom side rolling here in 3 and 4. And Roundtree is still going to maintain the lead as Roundtree gets around the lap traffic. Watts gets around the lap traffic, and Barnhart went in there just a little bit too hot into Matthew Watts, and he slowed up just a little bit. And that allowed Tyson Banks to get around him. And Banks is now up into your 3rd position as Barnhart has moved back to the 4th position. Again, that 17 machine is a lap car as Roundtree is your leader, and he has roughly a 2nd gap on Matthew Watts. And Watts in that 11 machine is trying to hold off the 747 of Tyson Banks and the 34 of Brandon Barnhart. And we're going to be side by side for second. Or we were just a little bit with Tyson Banks. Was looking on the inside. He's going to try real end. Watts here. As we have stayed green. And Roundtree in that 2 machine still holding off for the lead right now. As we have 11 laps remaining in your event. And Watts is still running that bottom side there, or tried that bottom side there, and 1 and 2. As they come off turn 4 here, I have my turns all backwards as we have now 10 laps remaining. As we're watching along with Matthew Watts here in that 11 machine as he comes down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He's trying to look for speed and reel in Roundtree in that 2 machine. Tyson Banks is right there, and Brandon Barnhart's right behind Tyson Banks as Barnhart's looking down low. Trying to get that bottom side going in 1 and 2. As they come in turn number 3, Barnhart's going to look throw a slide job there on himself to maintain the 3rd position. We have a battle for 3rd between the 34 and the 747. In these closing laps here with coming off turn 4 will be 6 laps remaining in your event. Tyson Banks just blinked out a little bit, and now Watts is coming down low as well in 1 and 2 as they come down the back straightaway. And in turn 3, Banks is going to go on the outside. Watts is going to go down low. They're seeing 5 fingers. We have 5 laps remaining in this event tonight. Barnhart's going to be getting the outside going. Here comes Tyson Banks. He's trying to look to make a pass on Watts here momentarily as times are ticking away here for your 50-lap event. Roundtree is still leading the race. Watts in 2nd, Banks in 3rd, and Barnhart in 4th. And here comes Tyson Banks looking on the inside as they go in turn 1, and Watts had that momentum as he row the outside there, and now they see this popsicle sticks as we have 2 laps remaining. Here comes Barnhart looking down low, and 1 and 2. Banks on the outside wall. That's going to allow Barnhart to make that move, that pass for 3rd stick as they come off turn number 4. They're getting the white flag as we have one more time around. Can Barnhart hold off Banks here as they go in turn number 1 and down the back straightaway? Banks is going to look down low. Again, this is your battle for 3rd on your screen as they come off turn number 4. Roundtree is going to take the win. Watts in 2nd, and Barnhart finishes out in 3rd. Tyson Banks in 4th, and Ken in that 56 rounds out your top 5. Joseph Matthews in the 1 machine finishes 6th. Alan Patterson finishes in 7th. Tyler Hampton 8th. Brian in the 13 machine 1 second. Let's see. Brian in the 13 machine, ninth. Brock Stout in the 49 rounds out your top 10. Corey Bergquist in the 02 finishes 11th. Brian in the 71 machine finishes 12th. Cody Daly in the 18 machine finishes in 13. And Ziggy will be 14th. Chris Watkins 15th. Robbie Milburn 16th. Sebastian Labonte in 17th. And rounding out the field is going to be Dylan.
Man, my fantasy football team sucks.
And 1 second here, we will hear from your top 3 drivers as we have Brandon Barnhart, your third place finisher, already ready to go here. And Brandon, I already hear you there. The viewers already hear you. Good finish there on third. That was a hard fought battle there for all 3 of y'all, 4 of y'all with Tyson Banks as well. What were you trying to do there after you and Matthew ended up getting into it and coming back up there through the field?
Oh, it was fun. That was a fun race. We had a heck of a battle going. That lap car was up high, and I cut to the bottom trying to, and I got on it to try to get by him, and I didn't realize Matt was going to go to the bottom, and I slammed on the brakes. I'm glad he saved it though.
Man,
But yeah,
I was a little worried about that one with y'all making that pass on the lap car and y'all two getting into it. Glad y'all saved it and still put on a hell of a show there.
yes, yeah, that was a hell of a show. We had one good battle going there, for sure.
And this is week 1 with a 12-week series with 2 drop weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
3.
3
We're,
drop
we're
weeks.
giving, yeah, we did 3 drop weeks. It's still summertime, so you know.
That makes sense. And do you have any friends, family, or sponsors that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, thank all the guys at Tri City. Everybody on our team. We have a great group of guys. We all put in a lot of time and have fun, and we put on these kind of things and just to try to make it fun for everybody else. Um, Thank Matt over at Fusion. Like I say, me and him got together and teamed up, and we were pretty strong last season, hoping to have a pretty strong season this season. Um, Adrenaline Spike Designs, and Borean Machine, and you for last minute putting this broadcast on. Appreciate that.
Yep, no problem at all, man. And there you have it, your third place finisher tonight of Brandon Barnhart. Once again, congratulations on your podium finish.
Yep, thank you.
Yep. And Mr. Roundtree, your winner tonight, he's here ready for his interview. That was a hard fought battle there. You led it since basically the drop of the green. But whenever Watts came up there and started sliding you back and forth, were you kind of worried about that whenever he started sliding you there?
Yeah, for sure. I seen him running me in, and I mean, I knew we were good. I think he was probably on a little harder tire, like he was probably on softer tires, so I figured that I'd be better late, but I just needed to hold him off. Uh, but yeah, that was. I mean, we never touched. That was clean. That was fun. And we always run each other with a ton of respect, and man, these guys are hard to beat, so it was nice to come out on top.
And you had a setup from the drop to the green. Basically, you were the quick time qualifier. You started on the pole in the heat race, started on the pole in the feature. I think maybe you didn't 3 laps, maybe if that you didn't lead. Whenever you and Watts were sliding each other and running side by side there, putting on that show.
Yeah, it's all thanks to everyone at Tri-City. I mean, they do an amazing job, and it's just a team effort. Brandon, he's got me going pretty good. I like it over here. Matt again at Fusion. Everyone that helps. Ken, Hogue for doing the rap. Just all the guys over at Tri-City, and you for putting this on, and just everyone for coming out and watching the broadcast.
Yes, sir. And I guess was that your list of sponsors and
Yeah.
Okay, so yep, congratulations again on your win, especially for week 1, and hopefully we are able to come back over here and do another broadcast for you and catch you on the podium and hear from you once again.
Yes, sir. Hope so.
Yep. Thanks, sir. You have a good night.
Thank you too.
And I don't see Matthew Watts anywhere, so we're gonna just hear from your first and third finishers tonight. Once again, thanks for joining in here on Right Rear Racing, and we will be live again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.
Checkered flag flying, it's the end of the show. From dirt to the blacktop, we let it all go. Burning rubber, slamming gears, making hearts race. If you miss the heat, catch the highlight, press play. Right rear racing, lights out, that's a wrap. From the front straight to the back, we attacked every lap. Don't blink, don't sleep, we'll be back in your feed. With the throttle wide open and a need for speed. The drama, the thrill, the slide jobs and spins. Legends born in the booth and on tracks we win. Facebook, YouTube, hit subscribe and stay loud. We ain't slowing down, just saving it for the next round. Broadcast signed off, but the fire still burns. Catch us next time, where the story continues at full send. Joe, right rear racing, we out. Hold tight, see you next race.